Hello, my young travelers. I am C.S. Lewis. I've missed your little faces. Today we are going to talk about sin and morality and whether or not we should judge people. A very important part of Christianity. I'm sure you will agree. Bad psychological material is not a sin, but a disease. It does not need to be repented of, but to be cured. Human beings judge one another by their external actions. God judges them by their moral choices. Let me give you an example. When an anxious person who has a pathological horror of cats forces himself to pick up a cat for some good reason, it is quite possible that in God's eyes he has shown more courage than a healthy man may have shown by running headlong into enemy fire in a war. When a man who has been corrupted from his youth and taught that cruelty is the right thing, does some tiny little kindness or refrains from some cruelty he might have committed, and thereby perhaps risks being sneered at by his companions, he may in God's eyes be doing more than you and I would do if we gave up life itself for a friend. It is well to put this the other way round. Some of us who seem quite nice people may, in fact, have made so little use of a good heredity and a good upbringing that we are really worse than those we regard as fiends. Can we be quite certain how we should have behaved if we had been saddled with the psychological outfit, and then with the bad upbringing, and then with the power, say, of Joseph Stalin? That is why Christians are told not to judge. We only see the results which a man's choices make out of his raw material. But God does not judge him on the raw material at all, but on what he has done with it. Most of man's psychological makeup is probably due to his body. When the body dies, all of that will fall off him, and the real central man, the thing that chose, that made the best or worst out of his material, will stand naked. All sorts of nice things which we thought our own, but which were really due to good digestion, will fall off some of us. All sorts of nasty things, which were due to complexes or bad health, will fall off others. We shall then, for the first time, see everyone as he really was. There will be surprises. And that leads me on to my second point. People often think of Christian morality as a kind of bargain in which God says, if you keep a lot of rules, I'll reward you, and if you don't, I'll do the other thing. I do not think that is the best way of looking at it. I would much rather say that every time you make a choice, you are turning that central part of you, the part of you that chooses, in other words, your true self, into something a little different from what it was before. And taking your life as a whole, with all your innumerable choices, all your life long, you are slowly turning this central thing either into a heavenly creature or into a hellish creature, either into a creature that is in harmony with God, and with other creatures, and with itself, or else into one that is in a state of war and hatred with God, and with its fellow creatures, and with itself. To be one kind of creature is heaven, that is joy. It is joy and peace, and knowledge and power. To be the other means madness, horror, idiocy, rage, impotence, and eternal loneliness. Each of us at each moment is progressing to one state or the other. One man may be so placed that his anger sheds the blood of thousands, and another so placed that however angry he gets, he will only be laughed at. But the little mark on the soul may be much the same in both. Each has done something to himself which, unless he repents, will make it harder for him to keep out of the rage next time he is tempted, and will make the rage worse when he does fall into it. Each of them, if he seriously turns to God, can have the twist in the central man straightened out again. Each is, in the long run, doomed if he will not. The bigness or smallness of the thing, seen from the outside, is not what really matters. One last point. Remember that, as I said, the right direction leads not only to peace, but to knowledge. When a man is getting better, he understands more and more clearly the evil that is still left in him. When a man is getting worse, he understands his badness less and less. A moderately bad man knows he is not very good. A thoroughly bad man thinks he is all right. This is common sense, really. You understand sleep when you are awake, not while you are sleeping. You can see mistakes in arithmetic when your mind is working properly. While you are making them, you cannot see them. You can understand the nature of drunkenness when you are sober, not when you are drunk. Good people know about both good and evil. Bad people do not know about either. Until next time, my young explorers, God bless.